I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. I really do hate to disappoint you like that, Tribe, but sometimes I've got to give it to you straight and hard, baby. Anyway, I'll start off with the bad news. It is already time for a new datacron set. I know, like, what? We had one conquest to farm these datacrons. Now you can no longer get those materials in any sort of an efficient manner. That sucks, and that is our future, forever. One conquest to try and farm all the datacron mats that you possibly can. I wonder why CG is taking this method. Is it really to make it easier for us to understand what's in each datacron set? No. It's so that they force more spending during conquest periods, so that, you know, you have to invest more in order to get the same amount of resources that you used to get. It's wonderful, right? It's absolutely wonderful. The good news is, though, we do have the return of a fan-favorite focused datacron coming to a holotable near you. That's right, the Wamps is back. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen of the holotables, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me. Yeah, boy, Scribe, how the devil are you doing? I'm a little bit peaky. I think I might have caught a sickness or something when I was away. Never mind, hey. So anyway, Power for Hire, the latest datacron set, is now active within the game. The only way you can realistically get these at the moment is going through shipments, and from shipments go to datacrons, and you can spend your hard-earned shop currency, if you so choose, on the Power for Hire datacron set. There is also going to be, once the episode shipment store refreshes in 4 days and 20 hours, some of you might already have this based on the timing of your accounts, you will have additional new FTCs, okay? So we're going to look at the FTCs first, because the FTCs are where the most of the power usually lies, and they're usually fun. First and foremost, we've got Wampa back. Oh, woo, woo, brother truckers. Woo, woo. So, focused datacrons, what can I tell you about them? They have got static abilities and stats. You never have to re-roll these. It's just a big, hefty cost of investment. Wampa 10 million credits. Credits, I mean data cash. 120 of the Mark 1s. 340 of the Mark IIs and 220 of the Mark IIIs. This is super, super good. Everybody should want to get this FTC. It is incredibly valuable. Even if you don't have Wampa, the raw stats alone are phenomenal. 100% crit damage, 150% armor pen, and 100% offense. This can basically go on any offensive team that you want, anyone at all. You could throw it on Leia, you could throw it on JMK, you can throw it on Jabba the Hutt if you want. It will work on pretty much anything. So obviously it is specifically for a solo Wampa, but you can use it anywhere. The level 3, whenever Wampa uses an ability, deal more damage equal to half of their tenacity percentage, up to 100%. This effect will only trigger if Wampa has more than 0% tenacity. The reason they have that clause in at the end there, ladies and gentlemen, is to make sure that if Wampa's tenacity has been reduced below 0, this doesn't reduce the damage that Wampa does. Alright? The level 6 mechanic. Whenever the enemy is inflicted with a debuff, Wampa is going to gain 5% offense until they are defeated with no cap. Infinite ramping offense for Wampa. And finally, at the level 9, if there are no other active allies at the start of battle, Wampa's Omicron ability is active in Territory War. Wampa gains 100% defense, max health, max protection, immunity to daze and stun, and whenever Wampa attacks out of turn, she ignores protection. This is an FTC that you will want to take all the way up to level 9, unless you don't have Wampa, and then maybe go to level 8 and have all the stats. Next up, Baylan's Scale and Bowl. This is my second favorite from this set. It is actually pretty phenomenal. 100% potency, 75% tenacity, 100% defense, and 70% crit avoidance. Generally speaking, pretty good stats over there. There's a lot here that is around defensive capabilities, right? But that's okay, we don't judge it. Lots of defense, lots of crit avoidance. Could even work on a Ray team, to be honest. Hydration, it's good for you. As a basic ability, he gains 9 additional stacks of ransom, protection up to 100% stacking for 2 turns, and reduces his cooldowns by 1. This is great defensively, because it basically means Hondo doesn't accidentally get himself captured and running away, you know? So when you capture an enemy and you defeat him before he gets all of those stacks of ransom, he will flee the battle. So this kind of prevents that, makes him go into hyper hondo kind of instantly. The level 6 mechanic then, that is for my boy Marok. Marok the Rock. Whenever he inflicts a debuff, recover 25% max health and max protection. It's okay. Level 9 is for Shin Hati over here. Whenever another ally deals an ability during the turn, uses an ability during the turn, she's going to assist, dealing 50% more damage. It gets better though. This is like really powerful, by the way, because an assist on any ability is huge already. Level 12 is for Dengar, and we've seen this one before as well. It's pretty amazing. At the start of the encounter, Dengar inflicts doubt on all enemies for 2 turns, can't be evaded, dispelled, or resisted. That prevents TM gains and buffs. Whenever an enemy evades Dengar's attacks or resists a debuff, all enemies are inflicted with a dot and a thermal, and that can't be evaded or resisted. That second part is nice enough, but really you just like that doubt at the start. It does great things. Finally, the level 15 is of course for Baylan Skoll himself. If he is in the leader and all of his allies are mercenaries, whenever a mercenary gains a stack of Soldier of Fortune, they're gaining 2% offense and defense penetration up to 150%. Mercenary allies ignore taunts if they have Soldier of Fortune. That's really huge. And finally, this one's lovely. Whenever another mercenary ally uses an ability during their turn, call Baylan to assist. Okay, so anybody else in the team apart from Baylan does an ability, he's going to assist, and Shin will also assist, right? Whenever Baylan uses an ability whilst having taunt, dispel all buffs on the target enemy. Really powerful. This one is more expensive, 29 million data cash, 120 level 1s, 580 level 2s, and 700 level 3s. Very expensive, but it also sounds incredibly powerful. So I will be getting this one. This is my second priority. Going to start off with Wampa, just because I love that Wampa cron. It's a lot of fun. Then I'm going to go over to Baylan. After that, it's probably going to be the Nihilus cron, okay? So Nihilus cron over here, stats. 70% potency, 50% tenacity, 50% defense, 40% crit avoidance, and 80% on the health. That is a huge health buff. This will be useful on a number of teams, even if you don't have this team built up, but you probably should. You know, 80% health works on everything. Raid teams, layer teams, you know. It'll work great on a Malgus team. Like lots and lots of viability with this sort of stat spread, right? Level 3, Darth Scion. Whenever Scion uses an ability, deal more damage equal to half of their tenacity percentage, maximum of 100% damage. This effect will only trigger if he's got more than 0% tenacity. Honestly, this is garbage. Scion is garbage. Sorry, bro. Darth Treya. The first time Darth Treya is defeated, if there is at least one active ally, revive all other defeated allies and recover 100% health and protection, gain 100% turn meter and 100% offense until the end of battle. This is only useful because people like to kill Treya first. They like, if you see a Treya team on defense, they like to go all in on Treya, get rid of her, get rid of, you know, the ability to reduce, you know, deal max health damage when they attack out of turn, all that sort of thing, get rid of the isolate. You know, they tend to go after Treya first. It's usually that, or it's usually Nihilus, right? So this is quite useful. If you leave an ally alive, kill Treya, she's going to revive them and make them do a lot more damage. And then finally, we've got Nihilus. And this is interesting. If Nihilus is in the leader slot, and honestly, his leadership is not great. However, with this, it is actually quite viable, I feel. Whenever Nihilus inflicts a stack of damage over time, he's got a Zeta that inflicts that. He gains 2% max health, stacking up to 200% until the end of the encounter. Makes him a lot more survivable. Whenever Nihilus gains turn meter, both Scion and Darth Treya also gain 10% turn meter as well. He gains it, I think, when the team gets debuffed. At the start of the encounter, all Sith allies gain 200% max protection, and they are immune to percentile health damage. That's really cool, because his leadership converts protection into max health. It's not a leadership that you typically see used, but it does actually have some synergy when you look at the Darth Treya Omicron. All right, so let's just go over to Nihilus over here. I don't actually think I've got much investment in Nihilus in my alt account, but his leadership... Sith allies gain 60% offense and 150% health steal. Sith allies lose all protection and gain that much max health. They are immune to healing effects that aren't health steal and cannot score critical hits. So no crits for us, which is probably why, you know, there's no such thing as critical damage on this set. You've just got, you know, a boatload of health. You've got crit avoidance, you've got defense, tenacity, and potency, right? But you're converting all of your protection into max health. Also, you're gaining 200% max health. Now, I have to assume that this is going to apply before he converts it, which means all that max protection is going to convert into max health. You're going to have big, stocky units that you can't just life drain or anything like that, and will be immune to things like dots. So that's really cool. It says immune to percentile health damage as well. It doesn't say reduced damage. It says immune to percentile health damage. So I don't know if that means things like life drain will do no damage. Don't know. I imagine it's reduced damage. Whenever Nihilus reduces the cool of Annihilate or Drain Force, reduce the cooldowns for Treya and Scion by 1. That's really nice, because he's going to use that life drain ability, and it's going to reduce all of his cooldowns or his Annihilate cooldowns. When Treya uses Isolate on him to reduce his cooldowns, it's also going to reduce her cooldowns, so she'll be able to cycle back round to Annihilate faster. Really, really useful. Also get, you know, Scion over here to Hatred. I do think this will still work in 5s. You throw it in with Talon, you throw it in with Scion, you're still going to have a really, really great time. Okay, so yep, super, super happy about this one. This one is going to be a fun one, I feel. Also, having Savage with an extra 200% max protection, which will get converted into max health and make him immune to, you know, percentile health effects, is going to be real nifty. I like it. I like it. Finally, out of the FTCs, we have got the Cody one, which is bizarre, right? Cody, strange interaction. Once again, potency and tenacity, they love this. 40% offense and 50% critical chance. Let's take a look, because this is based on a Cody leadership as well, and I can't even remember Cody's leadership. Cody, 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 codependent. Call all... That's not his leadership. This is his leadership. Clone allies gain 30% crit chance, and other allies gain half that amount. Cody gains 60% defense for each living clone ally, and other clone allies gain half that amount. So 30% defense for everybody. Clone allies recover 5% of their max protection whenever they use a basic ability. Nifty. It's a shame this doesn't have a bunch of max protection, right? So, level 3... Kicks. So this is a weird mixed set right now. Kicks has 30 speed for each clone trooper ally. That is a lot of speed. In 5s, that's 150 speed. Wow. Alright. The first time clone trooper ally is defeated, they are revived with 100% health and protection. Clone trooper allies revived like this gains 3 stack of Endure. Whenever Kix uses an ability, all clone trooper allies recover 10% health and protection. Whenever Kix uses emergency med pack, all clone trooper allies get 25% defense until the end of the encounter. That is a really good level 3. That's a really good level 3. You know, he gains a bunch of speed, he gives them a free max revive with max health and protection, and ramping defense every time he uses emergency med pack. Really cool. Level 6 is for Captain Sexy Rexy over here. Whenever Captain Rex inflicts a debuff on the enemy, there is a 50% chance to dispel all buffs on that enemy. And I think he does a debuff on every ability, and he puts Tenacity down. That's huge. That's a really good one. It's pretty basic, but I like it. And then finally, Cody. When Cody is in the leader slot and all allies are clone troopers, they gain advantage, 100% crit damage and defense until the end of battle. That's already nice. Like, don't forget he's adding additional crit chance and crit damage through his leadership, and I believe extra defense on top, 30% defense and extra offense here. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Okay. Whenever a clone trooper ally critically hits an enemy, that ally gains 50% offense until the end of battle. Holy moly. That's a lot. Does it give crit chance? It does give 50% and his leadership gives 30, so we're getting 80% crit chance. Almost guaranteed to crit. We've got AoEs in the team. 50% offense is a huge buff. Every time they crit, that's really huge. Okay. Whenever a light side clone trooper uses an ability, call a random light side clone trooper ally to assist, dealing 100% more damage, and all allies recover 10% health. This is going to be a fun datacron. I can see this being a fun datacron. Yeah, this one will get out of hand real quick. I kind of feel like I want to have OG Rex in here just for a form up. Maybe even have 5s. Potentially to have 5s. Because 5s could sacrifice. And sure, he'll only pass his stats to Rex, but that's still a bunch of stats. You could throw in Arc Trooper, or you could throw in Echo, just to try and get some more damage out there. I'm trying to think of actual big damage dealers here. But yeah, this is a really, really cool setup. That's going to ramp a lot of damage. Is it going to be a GL killer? Probably not, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see with this one. Some cool FDCs. I will say order is going to be Wampa, Baylan, Nihilus, and then Cody. I think they're all viable. Thankfully, there's only 4 FDCs this time, not 7, like we had in the last set. Looking at the non-FDC side of things, let's take a look at the stats first and foremost. We can get defense, crit damage, health, offense, crit chance, armor pen, and resistance pen. It's annoying when these things get split out, but pretty good stats overall. If you're looking to deal damage, the best ones are going to be your penetration stats or your crit damage, generally speaking. If you're looking for survivability, defense, and health. Low viability ones, or maybe not low necessarily, it's going to be crit chance, right down at the bottom. Offense is okay, not great, right? I would look for, you might have to tailor some of your penetration stats. Might be a bit of a pain in the ass. Crit damage is fine. Defense is great. Like, you can get quite a bit of defense here. You can get phenomenal amounts of defense. Holy moly. 7 and 8, you can get 200% defense right out of the rip. Okay, yeah, the defense is a huge primary stat. Just go for defense, guys. Ignore the stats for offense. Kyle Katarn mechanics. Start of battle, Kyle Katarn gets Jedi Knight. He's immediately in Jedi Knight. That's amazing. And the bonuses of Jedi Knight is also applied to all mercenary allies. So Jedi Knight, Kyle Katarn and Rebel Fighter allies gain 50% defense and offense and can't gain force connection. This bonus applies to Jedi allies in territory battles. So 50% defense and offense. Not bad. So straight off the rip, 50% defense and offense. That's nice. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with force influence, they're also inflicted with accuracy down, blind, and vulnerable for 2 turns. Whenever force influence expires on an enemy, inflict them with doubt for 1 turn. And whenever Kyle Katarn attacks out a turn, reduce his cooldowns by 1. Wow. That's actually pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily be using him with a full mercenary team, but I would probably still think that we would have him under either a Sora or a Momo team and still have some good fun with the rest of those rebel fighters. There are some other mercenaries as well, I want to say, that are also rebel fighters. Yeah, it's only Cara Dune that is another mercenary that is a rebel fighter. You don't tend to use her so much, but she's not bad. She's not bad. I'm still not sold on actually using this guy with a bunch of mercenaries, but this is still a really, really nice level 9. Dash Rendar. Whenever Dash Rendar critically hits the enemy, he gains 10% crit damage, defense, pen, and offense, stacking up to 200%. That's okay. Generally speaking, that is actually okay. I wouldn't mind that. I would rather have the Baylan cron, though. Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. Whenever Veteran Smuggler Han Solo stuns an enemy, he gains 10% crit damage, 5 speed until the end of the encounter. No, I doubt I'll use that. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Whenever Jedi Knight Cal Kestis gains a configuration, he gains 5 stacks of Impetuous until the end of the encounter. Whenever Cal Kestis uses Impetuous Assault, he gains 50% defense penetration and 100% offense for 2 turns. Whenever Jedi Knight Cal Kestis gains a buff, he gains 10% defense up to 100%. This is really good. Yeah, I'm 100% on board with this. Let's go, baby. This will help you hit configuration just a little bit sooner, is it? Whenever he gains a configuration, yeah, you'll be able to get it in 2. You'll be able to get your insta-kill in 2 instead of 3, right? If you're doing it correctly. So that's definitely worthwhile. The extra defense, pen, and offense, still kind of nice. The stacking defense makes it easier for him to survive. I'd say this is a good one. Vane, though, holy moly. This one is insane. Whenever Vane gains a stack of profit, gain 20% max health up to 300%. This is going to trigger so quickly under Pirate King Hondo. Vane is already the most tankiest unit in the game, probably. Whenever a pirate or an ally uses a special ability, Vane assists, dealing 35% bonus true damage based on his max health. If you have got Pirate King Hondo, this is the most important datacron to get. Because Vane dealing 35% of his max health as true damage whenever a pirate ally uses a special ability means this guy is going to do insane levels of damage. He can stack up to 3 times his max health. He already has ridiculous levels of max health. When Vane is taunting, if another pirate ally receives damage, Vane gains 10% offense based on his max health until the end of his turn. Oh my god. Pirate King Hondo is about to be an absolute nightmare. This is vile. This is absolute vile. I want it. Santi. Whenever Santi loses taunt, remove 50% turn meter from all enemies. Garbage. Zalbar. Whenever another ally recovers protection, Zalbar gains foresight. Garbage. Embo. At the start of battle, 90% of Elbo's health is converted to protection. Kind of interesting. If Embo has protection at the start of his turn, he can't be defeated that turn. This is cool. I like this for a Hut Cartel team. Embo can do damage based on his max protection. Converting all of his health into protection is a nice way of doing it. Can't be defeated. I like it. I like it. Bosk. Whenever an enemy is stunned, Bosk takes a bonus turn. Forgettable. It's kind of cool, but I don't think you need it. Captain Athano. Whenever Athano gains Foresight, they also gain 20% turn meter and protection up. This is okay if you want to have something to boost out your Maz team more than anything. Your Mars team. Yeah, that's just okay. So the winners here, absolutely. Vane, without a doubt, phenomenal. Cal Kestis, pretty darn good. Embo, pretty decent. Dash Rendar, pretty decent. Kal-Katarn, pretty decent. I don't think everybody needs all these. Genuinely don't. I think top priority is Vane, 100%. Then get Cal Kestis probably. After that, it's up to you if you want the rest. They're not super mandatory. I would focus more on the FDCs. If you've got Baylan, get the Baylan one. If you've got Wampa, get the Wampacron. If you don't have Wampa, get the Wampacron anyway. You know, that feels like the most important ones. Now, when we're looking at the mercenary faction, tenacity up, no. Whenever an enemy is defeated by a mercenary ally, they can't be revived. I mean, that's like vaguely useful in certain scenarios if you want to try and use Baylan against like reviving GLs and stuff like that. At the end of the turn, this is okay, but again, not massively valuable. At the start of the encounter, all mercenaries have 100% defense penetration. I mean, that's already sold. Without even reading the next two sentences, this is already better than the others. Whenever mercenary allies attack out of turn, they attack again. This is huge. But that's not on Shin Hotti's one. Whenever they attack out of turn, they attack again once per turn. That's still very, very useful. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Dealing 5% more damage for each stack of Soldier of Fortune they have. Whenever an enemy attacks a mercenary ally out of turn, expose that enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. This is probably what you want for the mercenaries. Let's be real. You could use this JML, right? JML with Cal Kestis. The calls to assist will always call him to assist, so he'll double tap. That's really useful, especially if you can attack under protection. That's going to be really good with Jedi Knight Cal. Very good. Whenever mercenary allies use a special ability during their turn, stun that target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be evaded or resisted. That's also really good. So your toss-ups are going to be the stun and the wordy one. Scoundrels then. Whenever a scoundrel ally stuns an enemy, gain speed up, offense up for 2 turns, inflict expose for 2 turns at the end of the encounter, which can't be evaded. No. Whenever scoundrel allies inflict a debuff during their turn, deal bonus damage equal to 10% of that enemy's max health. Very good. That's very good. Characters like Dash Rendar doing an AoE, doing 3 debuffs in 1 hit on everybody that they can't resist, getting 10% max health damage for each debuff inflicted. That's 30% max health damage straight away. That's very, very good. When Scoundrel's allies critically hit an enemy during their turn, that ally gains 10% offense. Nah. Whenever a debuff on an enemy expires, Scoundrel gains 2% turn meter, doubled if it was dispelled by the enemy. Yeah, it's okay. First time each Scoundrel ally uses a basic ability on their turn, reset their cooldowns and gain 100% turn meter, limit once per battle. That's really good. That's very, very good. You can make some really cool turn meter looping situations with that. Yeah, it's your toss-up between the max health damage and this basic ability resetting cooldowns. That's very good. That one, unfortunately, won't really do much for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, but it'll still be useful. It'll still be very useful. Like, I could see that Kal-Katarn in a Mon Mothma team, or Kal-Katarn in a Saw Gerrera team. That's going to be useful, right? Alrighty then. Dark side abilities. 2% health when you critically hit. It's okay. Allies inflict daze or stun, recover 10% health or protection. Yeah, it's okay. Basic ability for speed up. That's nice. 25% turn meter preload. Absolutely great. Dark side tank allies defeated, revive them. Situationally useful, right? Reset their cooldowns, gain a bonus turn. Limit once per battle. Situationally useful. Good on like a Malgus team, right? Alright, light side. Whenever light side allies gain a buff, that ally recovers 3% health and protection. No. Whenever light side allies use a basic ability, crit chance up, crit damage up, and offense up. That's nice. Those are some good buffs. At the beginning of their turn, light side allies have a 25% chance to dispel. No. Whenever light side allies use a special ability, they gain evasion up, health steal up, and health up. That's okay. First time each light side ally is defeated, the remaining light side allies gain 15% offense and 20 speed for the rest of the encounter. This is nice. Yeah, so you got some good ones over here. I like the critical chance, crit damage up, and offense up at the whenever you use a basic. I also like the defeated allies giving you more offense and speed. That's really good, even on like a gas team. Very, very good. And then finally, the health steal up is okay. So all in all, pretty good set. Not loads of them that you really have to focus on. I will probably like to get myself Vane unequivocally. Vane is amazing. Jedi Knight Calcastus seems really good. Dash, Drendar, Kalkatan seem pretty nice, and so does the Embo. The rest of them, I would probably just forget about. Forget about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to drag on too long for this. I've not done an infographic or anything like that. But those are my thoughts on the new datacron set. Try to, you know, not go overboard, I guess, because CG is making this super difficult to get all the datacrons that you want. Let's see how it goes. And of course, if you need help on Conquest, I do have guides. How to get all those feats done, lickety-split, splickety-lit. Please do give the video a quick like and leave a comment in the comment section down below. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.